Hey mathematicians, here is the Unit 1 review sheet number 2 video. So this is like practice number 2 for the quiz you're going to have that will look just the same. All right, so make sure that you are checking your answers, especially for ones that you're still feeling like are a bit of a struggle. All right, here we go. Starting at the top, it says multiples. Most kids think of multiples as skip counting, so we can skip count by 3, 10, 7, and 15. You also could think, what's 3 times 1? What's 3 times 2? What's 3 times 3? 3 times 4? 3 times 5? And it's okay if you didn't start where I started, if you maybe started with 6. So if you started with 6, for example, you probably went up to 18. And you really could start anywhere as long as they're all multiples of 3. 3 times anything will give you a multiple of 3. All right, this one's easy. Little kids can do this. Skip counting by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. If you didn't start at 10, but you started at 20, perhaps you went all the way up to 60. Again, you can start anywhere, and as long as it's a multiple of 10, you're good to go. So 10 times anything will give you a multiple of 10. All right, let's do it with 7. 7 times 1, 7 times 2, 7 times 3, 7 times 4, 7 times 5, depending on where you started. Maybe you did 7 times 6, and so on and so on. Again, as long as it's a multiple of 7, 7 times anything will give you a multiple of 7. All right, I bet you can do the first couple of these in your head, but after that, don't be afraid to show a little bit of work. So if I just add another 15, that will give me the next multiple of 15. Add 15 again. And depending again on where you started, maybe you even went all the way up to 90. And of course, multiples will keep on going and going. So 15 times anything will give you a multiple of 15. All right, remember, if it gets blurry, I'll refocus it. All right, moving on. Factors don't go on and on forever. Each number has a very distinct or certain amount of factors. So think, what times what equals 2? 1 times 2 equals 2, which makes 2 a total prime number. 1, 2, prima donna. All right, think of factors of 9. So think, what times what equals 9? Does 1 work? Duh, 1 always works. 2 will not work because 9 is an odd number, but 3 will work. 3 and 3. So you can write them with multiplication symbols. You also, if you like to make things look more like a factor rainbow, however you list them is fine, as long as all of the factors are there. If it was only 1 times 9, it would be prime, but because there's also 3 and 3, that makes 9 a composite number. All right, the only way to get 13 is 1 times 13, which makes 13 a total prima donna. Ready? 13 is a prime number. 1, 2, prima donna. And the reason we say 1, 2 is because it has 2 factors, 1 and itself. All right, let's do the factors of 30. There are a lot of them. Let's do a rainbow. Does 1 work? Duh, 1 will always work. 2 will work because 30 is an even number. 3 works. All right, does 4 work? Let's see, 4 times 7 is 28. Close, but not quite. Does 5 work? Yep. Does 6 work? 6 is already there with 5. That's when you know you have them all. All right, so 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, and 5 times 6. All right, there's way more than just 2 factors, right? Way more than just 1 times 30. If it's a longer list, choose that longer word. All right, just like the first video and in the first review sheet, for number 3 and 4, you just have to pick a new number. And by new number, I just mean don't do 2, 9, 13, or 30, just because like we just did those. So I want you to do it again. All right, I think I'm going to do the number, oh gosh, I don't know, maybe the number 7. 7 is a prime number. And the reason it's a prime number is it has only 2 factors. And if you want to, again, you could list them somehow, right, to show that the only way to get 7 is 1 times 7. And we flip our hair twice because that's what a prime number is. It has 2 factors, 1 and the number itself. Okay. It's okay if your definition is not exactly word for word as mine is, as long as it's similar. All right, a new composite number. I just can't choose one of these. So I think maybe I'll choose the number, gosh, let's do 8. Okay, and the reason that 8 is a composite number is that it has more than 2 factors. And again, if you want to list them, you can. So this one is 1 times 8. Duh, 1 always works. And since 8 is even, I know that 2 will work as well. So remember, each number is a factor. So 1 and 8, that's 2 factors. 2 and 4 is another 2 factors. So it definitely has more than 2 factors, more than just 1 times the number itself. All right, on to page 2. Number 5, circle the 2 equations, let me get this focused here, that best represent this situation. Roger cleaned for 35 minutes. That is 5 times as long as his little sister Anita cleaned. So that means Roger cleaned the most. Anita, the little sister, didn't clean as much. So I know my facts really well. I know that Anita is going to be 7 minutes of cleaning, which might be about right for a little kid. All right. If we do 7 times 5, we get 35, which is what Roger did. Roger did the most. So I know that the answer is 7. So I'm going to look for 2 equations where M will equal 7 like I know it's supposed to. All right, let's see. Let's look at letter A. Is 5 times 7 35? Yep. It's 35 to, yep, that one is 7. So M can be 7 in both of these, but M does not equal 7 in C and D. So it's got to be A and B because I know that 7 is the right answer and A and B will give me 7 as the answer for that variable. All right, let's write some equations. Okay, Cody is 9 years old. Let me focus it here. Cody's cousin is 3 times older. So something like this, 9 times 3, and I'm going to say equals the cousin. And that means the cousin is 27 years or 27 years old. You don't have to show work if you know that in your head. Of course, you could also do 9 plus 9 plus 9, and that would get you 27 as well. All right, let's look at the next equation. Leo bought a bike and a scooter. The bike cost 3 times as much as the scooter. So the bike's the most expensive. The scooter is 26 bucks. So if we take 26 times 3, that's going to equal the cost of the bike. So if you don't know multiplication, which we're going to really be learning some strategies and learning traditional this year, but you could do 26 plus 26 plus 26. 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. Carry that 1 for a final answer of $78. You can write $78 or just label it with the dollar symbol, and that's fine as a label as well. All right, last one. On this page is the ratio table. Look for the most important number. For every student, they need 9 folders. So again, if you take the top number and you multiply by 9, you will get the bottom number. So all of these answers could be found on the 9 monster in the classroom. Okay, so think to yourself, 1 times 9 is 9. 2 times 9, and draw those arrows if that seems to be helpful to your brain. 2 times 9 is 18. What times 9 is 45? And the answer is 5. And again, if it's helpful to draw that arrow and maybe even write times 9 there, okay, that might help. And it sometimes will skip like that, so be careful. 9 times 9 is 81. And 11 times 9 is 99. So they're really just facts of 9. All right, let's look at the very last page. Here we go. Fill in the missing number. Let me get it focused here. And these are just like area models or arrays. And it's really just multiplication facts. So I'm looking for the length times the width will equal the area in the middle. 8 times 4 is 32. And 9 times 3 equals 27. All right, the last couple are some multiplication facts. 2 times 9 is 18. 8 times 10 is 80. 7 times 8 is 56. 6 times 4 is 24. You could think, how many 25s are in 200? I know that there are 4 25s. I'm thinking of quarters. 4 25s in 100. So there'd be 8 25s in 200. 4 times 7 is 28. 5 times 6 is 30. Let's see. 20 times 4. I was kind of looking here. 2 times 4 is 8. And then I have these extra zeros there. So the answer is 20. And finally, the last one, 40 times 2 is 40 plus 40, which is 80. All right, let me see if I can do this without getting it too fuzzy and show you all of the answers. All right, so here is page 1. And remember, number 3 and number 4 can and probably are different than mine, and that's fine. Okay, page 2. And I hope that you're feeling really good on all of this stuff. That means you'll feel really good when we take a quiz. And the ratio table. And finally, the last page. All right, kids, I will see you in class.